What secrets are lurking in your car's VIN? Truly, there are secret codes right there for anyone who wants to find out all kinds of things about your vehicle. We're going to take a quick peek at this mysterious number that's branded on all modern cars today. This is Get Details, and this is the top 7 fascinating facts about your car's VIN, or vehicle information number. Before we get started, go ahead and do the click thing, like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. We really do count on response from you to help us grow and provide more details on things you want to know, like vehicle information numbers. Those 17-digit codes you'll find on nearly every vehicle made since 1980. It's kind of mind-boggling when you consider that back in 2017, the world passed 1 billion vehicles registered at one time. That is worldwide, of course. In the U.S. alone, though, there are 284 million cars, trucks, motorcycles, buses, and other rolling contraptions. They all get a unique VIN. So how does that work, and how do they keep them all separate? That's what we're going to cover on this video. Just what do these letters and numbers mean? It's the secret code right out in the open for anyone to see. Before we count down the separate parts, let's take a look at a sample VIN. There it is. In all its glistening glory, 17 beautiful digits, all standing proud and meaningful. Every single digit or character has a meaning. First, though, here are the rules. There are 17 separate characters. They include all the letters except those that could possibly be confused with numbers. So there is no VIN with the letters O, I, or Q. VINs began to be used in the U.S. in 1954. The government asked car makers to come up with a standardized numbering system to identify vehicles. Up until then, they mostly used engine numbers to register titles with the DMV. But that turned out to be a problem if they ever swapped out a motor, and that happened quite often. So the first VINs were set up in the early 50s, and they continued with really no truly universal standard until 1981. That was the year our beloved 17-digit beauty was born. VINs have sometimes been described as a car's fingerprints or DNA, and that's pretty accurate. Let's find out what kind of secrets your vehicle's DNA reveals. At detail number 7, it's the first 3 digits of the VIN. This is called the WMI, or the World Manufacturer Identifier. The first character is the country of origin, or the final assembly. The second and third characters are the manufacturer and the region. And what you're looking at is a complete list of WMIs. So already, we can identify a lot of vehicle countries and manufacturers just by looking at the first 3 letters. But there are 14 more, so let's move on to VIN secret number 6. The next 5 characters, 4 through 9, comprise the vehicle descriptor section. This will tell you all about the vehicle brand, the body style, engine size, and type. Now that could include details such as the number of cylinders, the fuel type like gasoline, diesel, or electric, and whether the engine is naturally aspirated or turbocharged. And there are some differences between manufacturers and countries, so there may be slight variations. VINs are a part of every car in the world these days, and the numbers are ignored by most of us because we really don't need to know it, except in certain instances. But there are some professionals that use VINs all the time. Like car dealerships and repair shops. They use VINs to ID the make, model, and year of the vehicle to order correct parts, determine vehicle features, and make accurate repairs. Insurance companies and law enforcement agencies also use VINs quite a bit. But that's not all. Vehicle buyers and sellers, car rental agencies, state DMVs, even car manufacturers themselves. Now let's move on down the list to detail number 5. There's one single digit here. It's called checksum, or check digit, and basically it's a number that's calculated by using a specific algorithm that's derived from all the individual details from the VIN. So if all the numbers add up correctly, the check digit will be correct. If not, then there could be fraud involved, and automotive fraud is a very big problem. In 2020, the latest year we have data for, there were over 873,000 car thefts, a 9.2% increase over 2019. Plus, car insurance scams damaged insurance companies to the tune of $29 billion a year. So preventing fraud is a major concern. This is Get Details, the channel that gets details on what you need to know. Take a moment and let us know what you'd like to get details on. Okay, now back to our 17-digit beauty. And that's detail number 4. We're up to digit number 10 now. Most of the time, this is the model year. But hold on a second. One digit? How can you keep track of model years like 1999, 2004, 2012, and so forth with only one digit? Now remember, a VIN is a code, and some smart people figured out a way to use a letter or single digit to stand for 4-digit years. First off, they left off the letters that could be confused with numbers like I, O, Q, U, and Z, and the number 0. This way, the single-digit year section is covered for 30 years. Then they just start the cycle all over again. Here now are a list of the current VIN year codes. These are the secrets your car's VIN codes can tell the world. Actually, there's a lot more juicy stuff it can spill if a person knows how to find it. And we'll tell you more about that soon. But first, let's continue with our tour of the VIN. We're up to character number 11 now. At detail number 3, the 11th VIN character is the plant code. That's where the car, bus, truck, motorcycle, RV, or whatever it is was put together. And once again, it's a single digit or a character. But you know, there could be an infinite number of factories represented since each company has its own set of numbers. We are working our way through your vehicle's VIN, that special 17-character code that's easily seen on every vehicle made these days. As we've seen, a lot of people need to know the VIN in order to fix it, sell it, insure it, or impound it. But there are nefarious purposes you can use a VIN for too. But first, let's finish off the numbering system. At detail number 2, it's the vehicle's identifier section. The production number, kind of like a serial number. The rules require manufacturers to keep consecutive numbering systems. It really is the only difference between identical model cars. They could have every single detail exactly the same, but the last 5 digits will be different. So that's a basic rundown of what all 17 VIN characters mean. But that's not the whole story of this little beauty. So who is in charge of all these numbers, making sure they're not messed up and suddenly useless? The VIN database is maintained by several organizations, like the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They're responsible for improving motor vehicle safety on U.S. roadways, and they maintain a publicly accessible VIN decoder. Also, the National Motor Vehicle Title Information System. This is the only nationwide database in which state DMVs, insurance companies, and salvage yards are required by law to report into. Their database contains over 40 million records from over 9,000 sources. Then there are vehicle history reporting companies like Carfax and others that maintain databases of VIN data. They collect information from various sources, including state DMVs, insurance companies, and salvage yards. So that means we can be confident that a VIN is legitimate. Or can we? This is Get Details, and these are the top 7 facts about your vehicle's identification number, or VIN. And detail number 1 is, your VIN is mostly public, in the fact that it can be read physically from your vehicle. But smart drivers try to safeguard their personal information, and that should include your VIN. With proper software, someone can actually find the owner or past owner of a vehicle through the VIN, because it's attached to things like service records and accident reports. While the info may not officially be public, it can be gathered by info brokers and then used by a variety of sites that you can easily find with a Google search. If you're willing to cough up a couple of bucks, they'll sell you a report with a lot of personal information on it, thanks to the VIN. And there are other ways VINs can be used by bad guys to cover the fact that a vehicle was stolen, or to hide a car's real identity through cloning. So be very aware. That 17-digit number located in several spots on your vehicle can be a gold mine of information in the right hands, or the wrong ones. And there you go. 7 details on your car's VIN. This is Get Details, what you need to know. Be sure to click like and subscribe and check out our other videos on all kinds of things. If there's something you want details on, you come to the right place. And remember, it's okay to be smart.